Let's see, time now 6:49. If you felt a business was more open about its tax affairs, would you be more likely to spend your money there?
Well, that is what one campaign group hopes would happen. Steph is looking into this. She's here to tell us more. Hello.
Yes, good morning to you. I think tax is an issue that's certainly been in the headlines a lot and got a lot of people annoyed. We've got a tax expert we're going to be talking to in a moment. Good morning, everyone. Yes, changing your spending habits to suit your ethics is nothing new. The Fair Trade logo is 20 years old this year, a label that's used on products such as coffee and bananas to reassure customers that farmers got a good deal. Well, now campaigners are hoping to repeat that success with the launch of a fair tax mark to honour businesses that pay the right amount of corporation tax and are transparent about it. Now, the issue of tax avoidance has been in the headlines since companies like Apple, Google, Amazon and Starbucks have been quizzed by politicians on both sides of the Atlantic. But one of the businesses that have won this new tax mark is Midcounties Co-op, which runs a cooperative energy company.
20 years ago, Midcounties Co-op and other co-ops in the UK were absolutely at the forefront of pushing fair trade. 20 years on, it's now an established part of the mainstream. I would hope that the fair tax mark is in exactly the same place.
Well, with me now is Heather Self, who is from Pinsent Masons, a law firm that advises businesses on tax issues. Good morning to you,
Good morning,
Heather.
Steph.
Do you think that this will make a difference, this idea of a mark?
I think potentially. I think what's been really powerful about fair trade is that the big supermarkets are very proud of what they do for fair trade. And I think the challenge for the fair tax mark is, can they get it to the same place? But I think they're making a good start.
And your company works with businesses to advise them on tax.
Yep.
Do you think they would be interested in getting this mark?
I think initially this has been aimed at the smaller and medium size, and then they're going to try and extend it to the multinationals. All the examples that you gave in your clip of Google, Amazon, Starbucks, Apple, the one thing they've got in common is they're all US multinationals. And I think it's a huge challenge to see whether they will really want to come on board.
And interesting as well, whenever we talk about tax, it is very complicated, isn't it?
It's always complicated.
Is it possible to break it down to be able to say a company is transparent enough about tax?
One of my initial concerns about the fair tax mark, they had a pilot study last year, and at that point it was much more about numbers. This time they're really focusing on transparency, and I think that's good. That's how the Cadbury Code of Corporate Governance works. You explain what you're doing, either comply or explain. So it's much more about explaining, but whether they're going to be able to explain something so complicated so that the ordinary consumer can make a decision, I think that's still a challenge to be faced.
And this is also what we're talking about, corporation tax rather than all the other taxes that a business might pay.
Primarily, yes.
So it could be that perhaps they're very transparent about their corporation tax, but not so with other things. You need to balance that up as well.
What they've done in their criteria on their website is they've actually listed a number of things that a company that wants to apply for this needs to sign up to, and that includes saying they won't do anything which is caught by the new general anti-abuse rules. So although the primary focus is on corporation tax, there's also a bit of a wider look at other behaviour as well.
So this is probably good news then for consumers?
I think so. I think the big challenge will be, will the big boys take it up as well? And I think that's work in progress.
OK, Heather, well, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's it for me. I'm going to have the Centrica results just after 7, of course. Owner of British Gas.
Yeah, OK. We'll look forward to you breaking those. Thanks very much, Steph.